Hello, people. Here we are, episode 18 of the AUNZ Music Podcast. Welcome back. And today we are joined by Teri-Lea. How are you up in Sydney this morning? Sunshine, I heard.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day today, and it's actually been warm all week, so I've just been enjoying the sun when I can.
Yeah, it's kind of been like that down in Melbourne too. I've got sun
Really?
streaming through my window right now. It's very out of character for Melbourne winter.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it too loud though. I don't want to jinx it.
Don't jinx it, no. Touch wood.
Yeah. Cool. Just going to give you some background information. Teri-Lea is an industry professional with over a decade of experience across merchandise, e-commerce, and marketing. Throughout her career, she's worked with companies including the Araka Group, Super Special, and Jungle Merchandise, delivering campaigns and fan experiences for both emerging Australian artists and some of the world's biggest acts, including Slowly Slowly and Ruby Fields, to international names like Sleep Token and Pink. She's worked behind the scenes helping artists connect with their fans, powered by her passion for artist development, building genuine fan communities, and creating a more sustainable future for people working in the music industry. Wow. A wealth of knowledge there, Terry. We do ask our guests for one silly fact about yourself, unrelated to your musical career, just to broaden the scope. If you want to hit us with that, please.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know if this is that silly, but I'm incredibly OCD. I love to organize anything and everything. I spend a lot of my free time reorganizing my friends' like pantries, cupboards, their clothing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just so therapeutic to me to having that all organized and helping other people organize.
Well, as long as they appreciate you jumping in their pantry, I'm sure there's no harm
Yeah.
done. That's fun.
It's like my little side hustle now.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. All right, let's swing into the news article for the week. This one is from Laura McNamara at the Music Network. She wrote this on July 6. GYRO brings Go to a Gig community initiative to Sydney. Described as Australia's first gig club, the Go to a Gig initiative connects solo gig goers with like-minded music fans in small groups to attend gigs together. Gyro wanted their Sydney launch to feel like a proper night out, not just an event, so they partnered with the King Street Crawl on July 12th. Alison Bremner, marketing GM at Gyro, said, "The King Street Crawl is already built around showing up and exploring, and Go to a Gig layers in the community and music discovery element that makes it something really special." The Sydney event follows the concept's June debut in Brisbane, where the outing brought music fans together for a performance by Midriff at the Triffid. According to Gyro, the response highlighted demand for a community-driven way to discover live music, particularly for people who often attend shows alone or want to meet others with similar tastes. Now, this struck me as a smart way of utilizing a trend, that club economy. It seems to be popping up in every way, shape, and form, and live music is getting on that bandwagon. Had you ever heard of anything like this before?
No, I actually haven't, especially in Australia. I'm sure it's overseas, but I think it's such a great initiative because I know how intimidating it can be to go to a show alone, especially if your friends don't have the same music taste as you and you really want to go to a gig. So I think it's great.
Yeah, I agree. It almost feels like it's getting harder and harder to go to a show by yourself. Maybe that's
Yeah.
just because I'm getting older, but I don't know what the
Yeah.
feel is in the younger generations. I used to slide into gigs by myself without really a
Yeah.
concern, but yeah, maybe I'm out of practice. So something like this did appeal
Yeah.
to me in terms of just staying active on the scene. And it's one thing to get to a gig. It's another thing to actually get there and spark up a conversation with someone, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I hope
It's great. And it's like
Sorry,
Sorry,
you
keep
go.
going.
Go for it. Go for it.
I was gonna say, I think it's like great because you get to meet people who like the same music as you.
Yeah, which is a massive connector, you know? If
Yeah,
if I turn back to how I tuned in with a lot of my friends through teenage years, through early 20s, we were cooking the same music, you know?
yeah,
It's good
yeah.
stuff. And what is your sense for people attending shows in Australia in general? Just do you think the live music scene is bustling, and maybe more broadly, the music scene as a
Yeah.
community? Is there still that community sense on the music scene?
I definitely think there still is a community around live shows, but I do believe that people are way more selective to the gigs they go to these days, especially with the cost of like some ticket prices and the cost of living in general. But I, myself personally, when I go to a free show, is packed. And then if I pay for a gig, it's still packed, but like I just see more people going to these free events like the King Street Crawl, and where I'm based in Wollongong, they have this festival once a year called Port Kembla Festival, and it's a big, like it's kind of like King Street Crawl. It's all the venues on this one strip, and they all have live music, and it's probably like the busiest day I see.
Yeah, right. Well, so that's kind of these more event focused, almost street parties then that are pulling together this
Yeah.
community feel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I know I spoke to a few local smaller venue owners here that play live music, you know, Wednesday through Sunday sort of thing. And their sense is that the stadium shows is bossing it. That's going really good, really
Yeah.
successful at the moment, very lucrative.
Yeah.
Um, Smaller pubs not struggling a little bit, and that might be
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
we're seeing a ticket hike to a degree. It's hard feedback loop, isn't it?
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and then when less people are turning up to these, you know, iconic bars that are renowned for live music, that you know, you could almost just go there and expect to see the same faces. I don't know if that's happening as much now. You can expect them at certain
Yeah.
events, or maybe like you said, with certain tastes of music. You go to certain genres, you could maybe expect to run into some people at the same shows. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure how people are feeling about like that community at a venue, particularly.
Yeah. And especially if it's not their type of music as well.
Yeah.
Whereas I find these free events, people are there to also find new music.
hmm Yeah, for sure. For sure, everyone's always looking for new music. It's not in short supply. What are we at now? I think we're
Yeah.
at like over 100,000 songs getting uploaded to streaming every day, something like that.
That is crazy.
It's scary, crazy, right? Um, and staying with that sort of genre alignment regarding community, I've speaking to these same music venue owners. I know a lot of them are sort of loosening loosening the loose boundaries around what music they offer in their venues too.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's some
Hmm.
venues that were like strictly kind of heavy rock metal stuff, and they're being like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, maybe we're letting in some more indie rock acts or whatever it is now, sort of widening the scope. Um, that tells me that they're also looking for more people to come through from different audiences, because maybe like
Yeah.
if you're a heavy metal fan, maybe you go to 1 gig a week at this one venue, but then what about all those other nights? You know, we need to get
Yeah.
different fan groups coming through.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
just,
No,
yeah, I'm spitballing, I have no idea, but maybe there is more of a commitment to genre based events rather than communities based at venues. I'm not so sure.
yeah. Like I can definitely think of quite a few venues where I associate them with a certain type of genre of music.
Yeah,
But yes, I guess when they're trying to branch out, it could be a little bit difficult.
for sure, for sure. Did you have when you were working in your positions with e-commerce marketing and artist development services in general. Were you participating
Yeah.
in the live music game at all, like setting up merchandise and stuff at these live music venues?
Yeah, so my role was more so on the D2C side of things, but I obviously was experienced to the live events as well. So there would be some times where I would help out there. And I have had my fair share of actually going to a gig and selling merch too.
Oh yes, nice. That's
Which
a you like that?
I find it quite fun, yes, because you get to interact with the fans and, like, coming from the positions I was in, getting to know the fans is such a big thing because you get to figure out what they want from that artist.
Yeah. That's the thing with a merch stand at a live event. I mean, as an artist too, even if you can go and hang out at your own merch stand for a second, you're getting that direct
Yeah,
to fan contact, you know?
yeah, and that's a big thing.
Yeah. Merch stands is also a great way to get into the industry, I think, in general. Like, I know when I was first starting out paving away, I put my hand up just to volunteer doing merch for bands a lot. It's a great way
Yeah,
to meet managers, venues, bands,
yeah,
and once again, like you said, just connecting with the people at those events. You know, they're clearly music lovers.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely a great way to as, like, someone trying to start out in the industry, to get your foot in the door.
Yeah, for sure. As is jumping on the door or doing tickets or something,
Yeah,
putting your
yeah.
hand up, yo. Cool. All right, we're gonna close out part 1 here and move into our song of the month. So the song of the month this week is from a former podcast guest, Teri-Lea. His artist name is I Hate Context, all one word, and the song is called Polaroid. Go have a check out of that, and we'll be back to discuss it. See you soon.
Figures of all the time it took to develop this, I never really noticed you were out of focus in any one memory of you and me. Dream team, you, myself, and I. All we share is all we left behind. Oh, yeah, yeah. Understand, my only wish, I just want us to be friends, be saving weekdays just to spend them weekends.
Polaroid from I Hate
Crazy how
Context.
competitive you make me.
Teri-Lea, where did we land with that one? What captured your attention?
I found it really, like, moody and emotional, and I had never heard of this artist before, but that song was I don't know, it took me to a place where I was just imagining myself driving in my car, thinking about my life.
Yeah, it felt like it's a rainy car drive.
Yeah, a
I'm
raining car
feeling.
yeah, raining car drive, yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Night times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. I really like how his voice meshes with that type of music. I mean, speaking of music tastes, this is a man who offers a diverse
Yeah.
palette. His song before this was like a blues track,
Okay.
and his voice is cool with that too. I know personally that he likes to dive into punk, blues, and like that kind of trappy R&B
Yeah,
feel.
yeah.
It's an interesting combo.
That is
But
so very versatile. That's cool. It's always great
yeah,
when an artist can, like, immerse himself in different genres.
yeah, totally. It's not easy to do, not easy to pave a way.
No way.
There were some really cool moments that just cut, because it mostly sort of just like waved along that song, I felt.
Yeah.
And then there was just a couple of moments that just sort of break that groove for a second. Like there's the big clear dropout towards the end of the song. And I love how the octave voice comes underneath it too.
Yeah.
That's just emphasize.
Yeah. It definitely brought
And
up emotions.
yeah, but I think that moodiness, a lot of that lived in the waviness of this synth that was just floating along the whole time in the background, and some very atmospheric, I want to say guitars. I couldn't quite
Yeah.
put my finger on it.
Yeah, I was trying,
Yeah.
and I'm no artist by all means, so I probably will butcher when I try and explain what I'm hearing. But I also was
Yeah.
picturing like being played live and like the lights
Yep.
going with the beat.
Totally. What colors? I'm feeling like a
Like
blue and a
blue.
purple.
Yeah, it was like blue, purple, red,
Mm-hmm.
in like a dark
Yeah.
room.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. Teri-Lea, get on that. I hate context Polaroid. Go check out the full song if you didn't stop for a cheeky listen. And if you find this useful, this kind of feedback on songs, it's the kind of work that GYMjot supports. And there's a free consult at gymjot.com.au. And with that said, back to the episode and into our artist development chit chats. And Terry, I'm not sure where you want to take us, but wherever you've been, what do you think we should go for? Do you want to go lean into some industry navigational devices or general support for artists? Where do you think's best to jump into?
Yeah, I think probably general support for artists is always back yourself and trust the team around you. And you don't need to have a big team, but like everyone has that same shared goal. And I think coming from merchandise as well, it's don't go too big at the start. Because I've definitely experienced a lot of the times where someone hasn't done merchandise before and they've put too much spend behind it and it doesn't translate back into their pocket. And we want to make the artist money. And as well as treating merch more as like an extension of your brand, like something that your fans will actually want to wear and they feel like connected to you in a way.
Yeah, cool. That's great. Starting with like the spend idea.
Yeah.
So if you're an emerging artist, let's say you're playing like 100 cap venues, like you're pretty emerging, like fresh.
Yeah.
What's like a good merchandise plan if you were looking to get that set up?
I would do one t-shirt and an accessory and probably 51 units of each and have the colors very simple, because with merchandise it works on how many colors you have in your artwork is the more expensive it's going to be.
Yeah, that sounds. Did you say 51 of each?
Yeah.
What's the logic behind 51?
There's 100 people at the venue. Half of them will probably buy merch. The other half won't.
Nice.
And if you have merch left over, hopefully have a online store set up as well.
Yeah, for sure. Surely. That's interesting. So you're thinking around 50% as a general selling point at a venue?
Yeah. From my experience, it's about that, unless you're, I don't know, doing like 1,000 cap, it's obviously a bit different. But yeah, I would start, and the more you make, the cheaper it is with merchandise as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes 26
cool.
sounds like a better idea, but it ends up being like $100 cheaper than producing 51 units or something.
Right. I see. Yeah, well, it's usually cheaper to produce more.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And you talked about aligning with your brand, so that sort of blends into a marketing.
Yeah.
Quick dive into marketing.
Yeah.
How is there any general tools, or is it just too individualized in terms of trying to find those right brand alignments with your merchandise? You mentioned one accessory, obviously that leaves some room for creative freedom.
Yeah.
But how would you be approaching that with an artist?
I think you really need to know your audience and who's coming to your shows, who's listening to your music. It's like what we spoke about before, like actually having that artist communicate with their fans and having that experience with them to see what they want from you.
Yeah. Yeah. How would you go about directing an artist to get that information? Do you think it's mostly by playing on the live scene, or is it mostly pulling from your digital marketing fan base?
Yeah, I would say it's a bit of both. Definitely digital as well as live, but I guess live you have a better idea because they're right in front of you, if that makes sense. Like your
Mm.
fans are right there. Whereas
Yeah, right. They've already paid to be there.
yeah. But like to get new fans, obviously the digital side is where it's at. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's such a bit of a tricky question to answer, actually.
Yeah, that's all good. You also alluded to having a good team around you. At what point would you be recommending artists to employ someone to handle their merchandise? When would that be a necessary part of your team?
When they simply can't do it themselves anymore. Because obviously a lot of them start out selling their own merch at a show, sending their own online orders, but it's literally when you realize, okay, I'm going to be on the road for half of the year. I cannot be organizing a seller each night or getting on to the merch stand or shipping out the online orders.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder what point that would be for most artists. Do you think it would mostly be if they're doing a national tour? Do you
Yeah.
think at that point it's something to start thinking about?
If they're playing doing a national tour that has 10 dates in it. And they're
Yeah.
playing
Yeah.
probably like 300 cap venues. That's when I would say to get a merch person on your team.
Yeah, nice. That's good. That's the specificity I was looking for. Thank you. Cool. I do want to lend some love to the people that are trying to just get their foot in the door and work in the industry too. So maybe you could reflect for a moment on how you actually got into your roles and gathered all the experience you've had. Like, how do you crack that door open?
I think for me, it started back when I was in high school and I realized how much I loved going to live music and connecting with the fan bases. I started out, I guess, I was very into the hardcore and metal scene when I was a teenager, and I would go to all the local gigs at the PCYC and all of that. And then I just started to become friends with the people and the bands that played there. And I would start promoting their shows and selling merch for them. And then I eventually studied at the Australian Institute of Music doing entertainment management. And I did a lot of internships and volunteering at festivals, for venues. I did internships at marketing agencies, PR agencies, and merch companies. And I think just getting
And
yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to ask, all those internships at marketing agencies, PR, it was all marketing agencies in the music industry?
Yes, sorry. It was all in the music industry. I did do one that wasn't in the industry, but it still aligned with what I wanted to do. And I ended up getting my first role in the industry by doing an internship.
Right. So after you completed internship and then they're like, hey, we love you.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much.
Right.
Which was great.
And you took the plunge as a teenager and started promoting bands. How did you even do that? How did you start doing that?
I know. It's because this was before social media was like a really big thing as well. So I would literally get little flyers made up and go around and stick them around the town I grew up in and hand them out to people, at school.
Yeah, I mean, all the people are there, you know, you're already immersed in a big social network at least. But how about like gathering the confidence to do something like that? Like, what actually made you take that plunge?
I think I surrounded myself with people who also wanted to do the same thing. So I had a very music heavy friendship group that we all loved to go to these concerts and small gigs together.
Right. Yeah. And you started off in these small events, and then you started ending up with some big acts, slowly, and Ruby Fields and Pink. My
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah. Deep Pink.
Yeah. Tell me, what's it like working in those bigger operations? How does that differ to the emerging? Like, what could we expect if we were at that level?
Yeah. I mean, the Pink one, for example, we did pop-up stores around Australia for, I think it was when she came out in 2018, so a little while ago now, but that was insane. That took like a year of planning the tour, like the merch for the tour, the merch for the pop-up store, all the logistics, like
Wow.
hunting venues and trying to like create experiences at these pop-ups for fans to interact with.
Yeah, right. So these were just stalls on the streets or within venues?
Within,
Like the
so
pop-ups?
the pop-up stores were like venues we'd hire out,
Ah, okay.
like
Yeah.
like empty galleries and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, great. Wow. And how about working with Slowly, for example?
Yep.
Not global,
Yeah.
but how does that compare?
I mean, still we put I personally put the same love and effort into something like that, but when they're local artists, it's a lot easier because I get to work directly with them and their management, whereas someone like Pink, it's like there's 10 people you go through to get an answer, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
It's almost bureaucratic.
yeah. And for me as well personally, working with like someone more local, you get to build that relationship and understand what they actually want and are looking for out of a merch partner.
Yeah. Yeah. And what would that conversation look like then if you're talking to someone of Slowly's capabilities? Like, what are you wanting to know from them?
Yep. Pretty much what sales do you want to see? What do you want people to be wearing your merch every day, or is it just to buy while you're at a gig? Especially when it comes, so I worked on a lot of album campaigns as well. And a lot of local artists, their goal is to get a number one in the ARIA chart, which is such a big thing. And it's coming up with ways on how we can get that.
And merchandising's a part of that goal?
Yeah, merch is a big part of that, especially the D2C, because that's where you sell your vinyl as well, or CD and
Okay.
cassette and
Yes.
digital downloads, which are a really big thing these days as well.
True. I heard an interesting stat the other day that in America, the Luminate music industry report came out, and they said that year on year, CD sales have gone up 16%.
Yeah.
It's like CDs.
Mhm.
Now, vinyl had their resurgence, or are having their
Yep.
resurgence. CDs might be next.
They actually are like in Australia as well, when people are doing an album campaign. Before you maybe get like 10 CD sales, and now we're getting like 60.
Yeah, right. That's crazy. I mean, what's driving something like that? CD's more affordable than a vinyl?
Yeah, maybe. I honestly don't know, because I wouldn't even know where to get a CD player these days. Like, do they still make it?
Yeah. I
Obviously
can't
they
imagine
do,
it's
but
for. It feels more like a memorabilia than a actual audio listening software. Maybe it's not so big. It's a little bit more space friendly in your house.
and a lot of the time, especially or even international artists do this, but they're all signed as well. So
Yeah.
it is like
Yeah,
something
right.
like a
Yes.
keepsake.
Yeah, signing.
Yeah.
That's the one. Get it tattooed on you.
Mhm.
Nice. I mean, we kind of covered a lot of territory just in those 3 points, but is there anything else that you would be recommending artists when navigating music in general? I mean, you've seen it not just through this merchandise marketing lens, but you've worked with people, the managers, venues, you've seen the industry from the inside out.
Yeah.
Is there any last closing comments you'd give for artists?
Back yourself and believe in yourself, which I think I did say that. And always be consistent.
Beautiful. Be consistent,
Be
folks.
consistent.
Easier said than done, but you can do it. You can do it indeed. Awesome. Hey, thanks, Teri-Lea. Is there anywhere that people should be keeping track with you? Any Instagram pages or anything? If you want to tell us while the song of the month continues to play out underneath, that would be good.
On LinkedIn would probably be the best. You can chat to me
Yep.
there. It is linkedin.com/Teri-Lea Micallef.
Awesome. There you go. Too easy. Until next time, folks, we are done for July, and I'll see you back here with the August edition of the AUNZ Music Podcast. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.